All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, we're back here again. I've got my Tele. About a year ago, I said, tune in next week and we'll have part 2 of the Tele, and it's now more than a year. It's now 2015. Happy New Year, everybody. Anyways, here's my Tele back again. Last time we talked about Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, and how he used Tele a lot, and we see him with a Les Paul standard, but, you know, Stairway to Heaven, 10 Years Gone, all those songs, well, a lot of the songs, anyways, were done on his Tele, which was, because the Tele bites, it comes through, it gets on tape real nicely. Tape. We used to use tape. Anyways, this is my Tele. Zeppelin, yes, we talked about Zeppelin a little bit, but I wanted to talk about a little story. If you're from the Toronto area, you might be my age, which is 40-something. You might remember a place called the Roxy Theatre in Toronto, where on almost every Friday night, well, when we had nothing better to do in high school, we jumped on the subway from the West End where I used to live, and we took the subway to, I think it was Dundas West subway station, and we watched The Song Remains the Same at a really run-down theater called, I think it was the Roxy. My memory's not doing too well these days, but anyways, I think that's where it was. And you could go there on Friday night, spend $5, and watch The Song Remains the Same over and over and over again. And I knew guys that sat there all night and did that. And once, I even walked in once with some friends, and we came in at Dazed and Confused, watched the whole rest of the movie, watched the start of the movie again, and left at Dazed and Confused in the next showing. So it was interesting what we used to do. They used to actually have an opening movie. They used to have the Jimi Hendrix movie, and another movie called Black and Blue, which was Blue Oyster Cult and Black Sabbath and the Dio years. We used to show before the movie as like kind of like the opening band. Because back then, think about it, we didn't have any VCRs just started coming out. Yes, it's been a long time ago, and there's no internet and everything else, which I'm going to talk to you about in a few minutes about that too. But yeah, I think we all died a little inside when Song Remains the Same came out on VHS, and we didn't have to go to the Roxy anymore on Friday nights. So hopefully anybody who lived in the Toronto area remembers that. Maybe it happened in your town too. Anyhow, my Telecaster, I was supposed to give you well, hopefully it's an interesting story about how I acquired it. Back in 1993 or so, I really wanted a Blue Flower Tele, and that's, if you guys don't know, look it up. It's basically a Telecaster with a bunch of psychedelic blue stuff all over it. And it was actually a factory paint job that came from Fender like that, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I was up in Tweed, Ontario around that time. I saw one in the store. Came back about 2-3 months later, and the store was gone. So I was ready to buy it. I had $750 all saved up, cash, and I was ready to buy my Tele, and I couldn't find it. So I went on this little quest after that, all over Toronto, trying to find my Blue Flower Tele, which I couldn't find. And then I found this little store in Mississauga, and kind of hidden from everything. It was kind of down this alleyway. It was just a guy there who had taught some lessons and had his own guitars on the wall. And I said to him, and he's a kind of a collector, so I said, hey, do you know where I can find a Blue Flower Tele? He goes, well, no, but I can order anything you want from Fender. Anything you want. Just order it, but you have to pay me up front first. So I was a young kid back then and thought everyone was honest. Or I should play maybe one of these chords when this happens, or maybe that. But anyways, I said, okay, yeah, something. Order me a Blue Flower Tele, and I came back, I think, next day or 2 days later with my $750 or probably $800 cash, and I still have the receipt for that, by the way. Paid him, and basically he said, okay, I'm going to order your Tele from Fender, and check back with me. So I checked back, you know, a month later, and I didn't think it would be in yet. So a month later, yeah, no, we did. So it's ordered and everything else, and we're good to go. I check back 2-3 months later, still no guitar. 6 months later, still no guitar. I think it was almost a year. And I went into the store and the guys go, give me the old story. I don't know what's going on, buddy. You know. So I went home, thought about it, came back the same week. I said, look, you're a nice guy. I'm a good guy. I've trusted you with my money. He goes, oh yeah, no. I said, okay, so you got a lot of guitars on your wall. There's a Telecaster right there that looks brand new. This one. And just give me that, and when my Blue Flower Tele comes in, you can we can make a switch. Fair enough. Pulls it down off the wall. Pulls me down, which was, looks pretty good. I thought it was brand new. We found out later when we opened it up it wasn't. It was all electronics that had been changed, and a few things were not real. Like this pickguard's not real. I mean, it's a real pickguard, but I mean, it's not the actual Fender pickguard. It was someone cut it out and put it on here, but did a nice job. But my guitar god repair guy figured it out that it's not. And then you take this off, and someone had cut another single coil hole cavity in there, which is not factory either. So anyways, I took this guitar off his wall, came back about a month later to the store to check back again, and the store's gone. So good thing I grabbed something from the guy, or he would have walked with my 750, and I wouldn't have this fine instrument in my hands right now, which I wouldn't give back if he handed me the Blue Tele right now, Blue Flower Tele right now, because I kind of fell in love with this over the years. It sat in the case for a long time until I got it fixed up, because little to my knowledge was someone had taken all the nice Fender pots and switches out of it, and it was always scratchy and made bad noises and stuff like that. So now it's back to normal, back to its nice little compact self. This is a reissue from around the early 90s, probably 93, and it doesn't have all the nice contours that the new ones have. It's the old slab, basically. And I like the ashtray bridge. I like grabbing onto that and holding onto it. Kind of really strong. If you hear any of my recordings and stuff, it's always usually this guitar that does the rhythm tracks, because it's just got that clarity to it. Anyhow, that is my story about the Tele, a year late. Yes, I know. And just wanted to, I always try and do a helpful hint for everybody at the end of my videos. Last time I talked about what to do, how to take your stands to a gig in a gig bag. Anyhow, that was my Flying V one. So today it's going to be about practicing. Hopefully you're all practicing every day for at least half an hour, if we can get it in, because it's busy life out there. Even the kids are busy with homework and everything else. But as I tell my students, always have an area to practice. This is my area here, where everything's set up and ready to go to plug in. And if you don't do that, if you have your guitar in a case under your bed, if you don't have your amp plugged in somewhere, you got to pull it out of the basement. All that takes time, and after a while you'll say, I'm not going to bother setting up today. So if you have all your stuff ready to go, that's one thing. But there's one key, most important element about practicing that's come up over the last couple years that I got to tell you guys about, and it is turn off all your devices that are connected to the internet when you're practicing. And I know you're going to say to me, nah, I can't do that. I practice off my laptop and videos. I watch videos on YouTube. I watch you, Darren. No, maybe you do. But thing is, here's what happens, and I'm very guilty of this. Here's what happens. I come down here to practice, click on my my laptop to find some videos to practice off of, and all of a sudden I start surfing YouTube and watching videos and saying, hey, this is great, oh yeah, and start typing stuff and comments and everything else, and next thing you know, 2 hours have gone by and I haven't played a note, or I've just kind of noodled along with songs and stuff like that, which is not really practicing. Practicing is studying. You need to study. You need to study. So chop up your practice. What I do now is I don't turn on anything for the first little while till I warm up and do all my fun stuff and get all my fun stuff out of the way. All my stuff that comes easy. All my stuff that I don't really have to think about. Then I get my nose into a book, or I get practice some stuff. And if I have to go to the internet and find stuff, I do that, but I keep it to a minimum. Anyways, it's a good tip because, especially if you start opening Facebook and anything that has to do with social media, and you start typing to your friends and to your followers and everything else. It takes up a lot of time, and pretty soon you think that you're practicing. You can fool yourself and say, hey, I practiced for 2 hours a day, but did you practice or did you surf the internet for 2 hours? Anyways, nothing wrong with the internet, but we need to turn it off. And let's leave you with a final note. Eddie Van Halen, Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Satriani, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. All those guys didn't have the internet to practice with, so think about that. Anyhow, take it easy, don't work it too hard, and we will see you in the next video.